One final prayer for Dustin the Diamond Poirier to get it done against Islam Makhachev. Okay, this is my last minute thoughts, predictions on the card. And yes, I know, extremely last minute. I read the comments. A lot of people are kind of angry that I didn't put out a prediction video for this event. And instead of making up an excuse for that, I really don't. Like at this point, if I make a prediction video going through every single fight on the card, you're just going to accuse me of just picking at whatever MMA guru or Lucas Tracy did. So instead of that, I'm just going to give my completely authentic thoughts on this event, how I think this is going to play out, and my hopes. Okay? Number one. Obviously, Dustin Poirier, please do us all a favor and find a way to finish Islam Makhachev. Like, the MMA gods are lining everything up for this. Okay? I made a video about a month ago, okay? That people are watching now and are looking at it like, I can't believe, brother, the Dustin Poirier copium is absolutely insane. Yes, it is. It's called faith. In that video, I said, I believe Dustin Poirier will beat Islam Makhachev because of the Paulo Costa curse. And I'm going to be real with you, okay? I'm not going to be like everybody else. Everybody's picking Islam Makhachev. I believe Islam Makhachev will win, okay? If you are betting with money, if you are betting with your brain, your wallet, everything, okay? You pick Islam Makhachev to win this, and you pick him to win this by a rear naked choke, okay? That is going to be the practical prediction. If you want to make a pick on nothing but blind fucking faith, okay? If you are picking a fight like it's going to be Matt Serra versus GSP, Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes, so craziest upsets in the sport, you pick Dustin Poirier to win this fight via TKO. Okay? If I'm picking with my fucking heart, that is what I'm picking. Because the MMA gods have structured everything together for Dustin Poirier to potentially win this. Number one, we got the Paulo Costa curse, which is crazy how well that works out. Understand, if Islam does lose, in my mind, Costa just beat the number one greatest fighter in the UFC. I will credit Islam Makhachev's loss to Paulo Costa more than I'll credit Dustin Poirier. Dude, Dustin Poirier is walking out to Willie Spence's cover of Diamonds. Do you have any idea how meme-worthy that is? Dog, I was reposting video. Dude, I made my own post talking about how that cover of Diamonds needs to be the final walkout song of Dustin Poirier. And I do believe this is going to be Dustin Poirier's final fight unless he somehow gets a win. If I'm Dustin Poirier, what do I do? What is there left to do in this sport? I beat Max Holloway. I'm the only dude to finish Max Holloway. I beat Conor McGregor. I broke Conor McGregor's leg. I beat the next generation of lightweights in Benoit Saint Denis. I beat Eddie Alvarez. I beat Anthony Showtime Pettis. I have beaten former champions. He is, quite possibly, the greatest lightweight to never win a title. And I might even put him above a prime Tony Ferguson. I do believe Tony Ferguson should have gotten a title. Dustin Poirier is in such a weird group. Because I would argue Dustin Poirier's resume is quite possibly the best, the second best, in the entirety of the sport for people that have never won an undisputed title. Might even be the best. I mean, the more I think about it, Dustin Poirier might have it. Just look up Dustin Poirier's Tapology and tell me that's not true. Him winning the title would be the greatest ending of a career in UFC history. The only thing that I believe would rival that is GSP retiring after beating Michael Bisping. That is the only thing that this could compete with. Let me set the scenes for you. You have the entirety of the fucking world outside of one village in Dagestan that is rooting for Dustin Poirier. I'm convinced there are people in Dagestan that are rooting for Dustin to win this. And a lot of people are like, oh, how could we go against Islam Makhachev? Listen, I like Islam. Islam Makhachev does seem like a fun dude. In fact, I almost felt bad because you can tell Islam Makhachev is like, this is fucking bullshit. Everybody is booing me. And I will tap out Dustin. Like, Islam Makhachev genuinely seems like that one dude, that one foreign exchange student that you're teaching how to swear in the back of the classroom, that low-key has a little bit of autism. And that's not me shoehorning autism in every single video that I make. I legitimately believe Islam Makhachev is slightly on the spectrum. You want to know why? Because do you think Dagestan is testing for autism? He's not like... Do you really think that's going on? Absolutely not. And I think that helps, mixed with the inbreeding, the Islam, the autism. Brother, that's how you create a world champion. Genuinely. And it's for that, logically, Islam Makhachev should absolutely decimate Dustin Poirier. If this fight will end in a finish, I 100% guarantee you, put your money on that. But Islam Makhachev has staff. He does. I'm sorry. Like, I understand people are now looking, it's like, well, Islam Makhachev said that he was perfectly healthy. He didn't deny it, first off. He said, oh, I feel fine, guys. Like, brother, you have staff. I'm not saying, like, oh, you have staff, like look how gross you are. Like, I get it. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy in and of myself. Like, brother, I think I have, like, a little fucking ring room right here. That's why I'm out of training. And I'm, like, extra agitated right now. Because we got UFC 302, and I'm over here screaming about how Dustin Poirier is gonna fight. Like, I'm actively trying to convince myself of this. Brother has a staph infection. No question in my mind. There is absolutely zero reason you would be covering up just your shin bone and grappling. Like, if this was kickboxing training and you're wearing pads, I get it. But you would wear pads on both your legs. There's absolutely zero reason to wear a brace around your shin bone while you're grappling. In jiu-jitsu, we just wear leggings, and that's how we hide it. In Dagestan, I guess they just are aware that everybody has a staph infection, and since they're all cousins, they're like, oh no, we fight it together. I say these jokes, but don't find me. So Islam Makhachev has staph, and to clear up, like, I also made, like, a TikTok video. If you guys ever came from my TikTok, you'll know this. That got over, like, 1 million views. And, like, the entire comment section is Dustin Poirier is 1-0 against fighters with a staph infection. I guarantee you it's more than that. A lot of UFC fighters secretly have either a skin infection, ringworm, or some type of fungus. I'm sorry, most grapplers get that. That's just a super common thing. Sean Brady pulled out again. Bo Nickal's out with a staph infection. A lot of these crotch sniffers, they have it. It's just in the culture. So I'm not surprised at all that Islam has it and nobody said anything, because I guarantee you that is part of the reason that they only fight in certain portions of the year. Of course they're not going to say it. They legally don't have to tell the public that they have a staph infection. That legally they don't have to do that. You'd be surprised how many stuff the UFC can keep hidden if they really wanted to. But that's the rant for Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier. And having a staph infection doesn't make you weaker. A few people were saying that. No, it doesn't. Taking oral antibiotics, that destroys your cardio. Imagine if that's what it was. Like, I understand. If that's how he loses, and then Islam Makhachev comes in and it's like, I had a staph infection, I had a bad weight cut, because brother was looking rough in that weight cut. Like, understand. I will talk shit about Islam. The one thing I will always respect about Dagestani guys, the commitment that they have to this art, I have to respect it. There is literally nothing else that these motherfuckers do other than breed, herd goats, and train double legs. There's literally nothing else they do. I respect that. I respect the commitment of that. However, shine bright like a diamond. Fucking go. Dustin Poirier is gonna get this done. Hopefully. Bro, I'll understand the cope from Islam Makhachev fans if he loses, because even I would be surprised if it ended up happening. But enough with that. Paulo Costa, Soren Strickland. A lot of people are saying Paulo Costa also had some a staph infection on his foot. Now, here's the difference. Staph infection on that part of your foot, like, I have a mark on my foot right now, but it's because I went for a double leg and it just burned the skin off the top of my foot. What that tells me is Paulo Costa is training a lot of grappling. I'm surprised nobody's saying that. Like, oh, Paulo Costa might be grappling in this. Like, there's a scenario where Paulo Costa decides to try to wrestle fuck Sean Strickland, because Costa has to be aware that if this is a stand-up fight, Strickland is going to take this to a 5-round decision win fairly easily. And yes, it's 5 rounds. That's also kind of a 5-round co-main. I love the idea of a 5-round co-main if they're both agreeing. I think Strickland gets this done, and I think he gets it done by a pretty handed decision. If there's a finish, it'll be by Paulo Costa. If it goes to a decision, Strickland's going to win pretty easily. If I'm seeing that stuff on Paulo Costa's feet, what that tells me is Paulo Costa is going to try to wrestle. I have a bet going on. I bet Paulo Costa is going to be the first person to suit. I bet within the first 3 rounds, he will suit the first takedown. I almost guarantee it. Paulo Costa will suit first. Strickland's not going to suit a takedown, because he is going to be able to keep this at reins. Like, I understand why people don't like Strickland. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, well, if you don't like Strickland, you're a pussy. That's not what I'm saying at all. I understand why. Strickland is one of the best at distance management, outside of it fighting Alex Pereira. And he is one of the best at point fighting, even though he talks like he goes to war absolutely every single fight. I'm a Strickland fan. It is kind of funny how he'll talk up every fight like he's going to be going in there like Justin Gaethje. But the fact is if Strickland wasn't talking such astronomical shit to absolutely everybody, I guarantee you guys would be rooting for him to lose every single fight that he's in. Like, people are rooting for him to lose, but they're buying the pay-per-view to watch him lose. There's a difference. Y'all wouldn't even know Strickland's name if he wasn't talking shit. Like, that's just facts. I do believe Strickland's going to win. Paulo Costa's going to grapple. I guarantee you that's going to happen. Also, Almeida needs to be decapitated in his fight that's on the card. That's really all I'm going to say about that. And really, this video is just a dedicated prayer to Dustin Poirier somehow finding the victory against Islam Makhachev. Okay? If I had to give you a side-by-side replay, I imagine Dustin Poirier is going to go into that event. Signed Bright Like a Diamond by Willie Spence is going to be going over. He is going to be practically tearing up over there. He's going to be doing saddle boxing, walking up to the octagon. And then you got Islam Makhachev's autistic ass. Just chilling over there. Just waiting. Also, I love the difference in insults between Dagestani fighters and American fighters. Dog, Dustin Poirier called him a motherfucker, okay? And Islam Makhachev in the face-off looked more hostile than I've ever seen him. And I shit you not, this bro goes up to him and says, "Don't ever talk about my mother like that again." I love the difference in insults from these different cultures, because it always sounds like a foreign exchange student learning how to say fuck for the first time. I love it. And it's like, you are chicken. To us, that means absolutely anything. I mean, look up what chicken means in Russian. Like, you'll understand why that's a pretty rough insult. But I predict they're going to get into that octagon. Islam Makhachev is going to absolutely control and almost outstrike Dustin Poirier in the first round. Probably is going to rear naked choke him in the first or second round. I think he would get it done rather quickly if Islam wins. But I don't know why. If I feel like Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight, it's going to be a damn near shot-for-shot remake of the Benoit Saint Denis fight. I could see a scenario where going later in, Islam Makhachev, the antibiotics are going to take their toll. That cardio is going to start going. Rip to the body. Boom, boom. And then Islam Makhachev is going to come in. Check hook. Rocked. He starts panic suiting because he's a crotch sniffer. Goes in for the double leg. Dustin Poirier is able to get his hooks in. And I swear to God, if he goes for a guillotine and misses and gets TKO'd, I will actively call for his retirement. I will scream at my TV similar like this and call for his retirement immediately. If he can rock Islam Makhachev, but the moment he goes in for a double leg, he goes for a guillotine instead of separating and going to finish this guy, I will lose it. In an ideal scenario, Dustin Poirier will find the TKO. In the realistic scenario, Islam Makhachev is going to find a sub. I think he gets by a rear naked choke. But there you go. That's my last prayers about the UFC 302 event. Tell me, what do you think about this? anybody believe Dustin Poirier is going to win, put it in the comment section down below and feed into my delusion. Thank you, everybody who's been supporting my content so far. And I will see you all after the event for the post-event breakdown. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Adios.